So it is Adrian, Capricorn Tigress of Astrology, a look inside. And I think I hope, wait, am I? Yeah, I guess I am. Oh, let me put the sound down. So I was just checking to see if I'm live. Like, am I live? Okay, I'm live. I realized my music was pretty loud. And so, but you guys, it's Adrian, Capricorn Tigers of Astrology, a look inside. I am coming live because I actually have so much video content that I have never published. Like I have been so lazy. Oh my gosh, we're going to talk about it, but I have been so insanely lazy. I've got so much information to share with everybody. I promise to edit that stuff and get it to you, but in the interim, I figure I might as well go live, do something live tonight, get some of this stuff out of the way, and that way I can say at least, I did it. And then I can just do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I have not talked astrologies with you guys for a minute. It's been a minute. I haven't been live for a minute. I won't even lie about it. I have an aversion to going live. I have figured this out, okay? I know that I do not like going live. Because look at my hair. My hair is all over. I'm going to start messing in it like I like to do. By the time it's all done, I'm going to look kind of like a witch. My makeup will be running. I'm like Whitney Houston after a good concert. Do you remember Whitney? Whitney would come out perfection, beautiful. The skin was perfect. The outfit was perfect. By the time that child was finished, the sweat was dripping. The wig was half to the side. I used to love Whitney, one of the best performers of all time. But she never, ever could maintain that look of perfection to the end of the concert. Like, the sweat would be just, and I think she even used to carry a handkerchief, but it was never enough. It was never enough. But, it's just been one of those months. For me, I'm a Capricorn, and we've been in Cancer season for 30 days. And during that 30 days, I have had probably the least amount of videos uploaded to YouTube in a year. I just don't have that kind of energy. Have you ever seen like shows when they have like a scene and it's like it shows someone who gets up, they get their coffee, they go to the bathroom, they do their hair, they do the same thing every day, and then they just show it like in a quick like montage of them doing the same thing day after day after day after day. Well, that's what I've been through. I've been through that. And my daughter's been ill. Anyone who knows me personally or on like Facebook knows that during most of Gemini and Cancer season, my daughter was dealing with serious illness. And so it's been hard. Okay, I don't want to lie. But I'm here tonight, and I hope I came in with a blaze of glory, because I found out as I came in that today the sun was at exactly 1 degree. It's actually at 1 degree and 27 minutes right now, but we are now in 1 degree and 27 minutes into Leo season. So happy Leo season to all the Leos out there. And I promise I will put a Leo freebie up, so that I always like to do something good for the signs each month. So I will do a Leo freebie, and I will put a link up probably by the time I edit and make clips of whatever I'm doing right now. Okay. So right now the sun is at 1 degree and 27 minutes of Leo. If you're a Leo, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all the Leos out there. If you're, born in the early degrees of Leo, this is your solar return right now, which means it's your time of the year. This is your highlight of the year. Just like I was talking about me not having any energy during Cancer season because that's opposite Capricorn. Well, it's the opposite for you guys now that it's your season, so you're going to get that energy. So Leos, this is perk up time. This is your time to get it right, whatever you're doing for the season. Also, the moon today, or almost at the new moon. So the moon right now is at 22 degrees and 13 minutes of Cancer. And so we're trekking along toward that new moon. The new moon is expected on the 25th. It's now 7 p.m. on the 23rd. So we're, less than 48 hours away. We're like 30 some hours away from this new moon in Leo. And I want to talk about the new moon in Leo and what that means for all the signs. But first, before we get to that, I just want to finish discussing what's going on with the planets, because there's a lot going on right now with the planets. Mercury's retrograde. Mercury is right now at 11 degrees and 9 minutes of Leo, but it's retrograding, so it's going backwards. And anybody who knows anything about retrogrades, especially Mercury retrograde, it's known to cause snafus like mix-ups and miscommunications and things like that. Some people do really poorly when Mercury goes retrograde. I sometimes do better when Mercury goes retrograde. I don't know why. I just, it is what it is. Now, what concerns me is that Mercury is at 14 degrees of Leo, and my Mercury is at 3 degrees of Aquarius, which means that it's going back toward, an opposition to my Mercury. Now, I don't know exactly. I think it goes back August 3rd, August 5th. It's not, we're almost there. We just have like about a week or so to go. And, but anything could happen between now and when it does go direct. So, be careful in what you're saying, and your communication, what you're typing. I'm really cautious about the videos I'm making and how people are reacting to them. So all those types of things. It's just a time to review things. Just, make sure you look everything over, you review it, and make things that everything is on the up and up before you actually put something out there. Always check your resources as well, okay, before sharing that information, because it'll come back to bite you. Also, a lot of times what we're doing during a Mercury retrograde is we're going back and doing the things that we didn't do when we should have did them before. That's really what it is. We have to retrace our steps and redo a lot of things because they weren't done correctly the first time. So this gives us a chance to renew and redo and revive things that we might have thought were dead and long and gone. And so I actually like Mercury retrograde. I'm a weirdo, I guess, in that front. I like it. I always feel like I get more done. And I realize now what it is. I mean, I don't know if I was born with Mercury retrograde, so it goes, it feels right, but it just does. I always feel like it's the most productive time of the year. I look forward to the Mercury retrogrades because I know it's when I'm going to be most productive. Okay, let me tell you what happened today, and then I'm going to move on. But okay, so this Leo, Mercury, Leo and Cancer fill my 7th house. Okay, so this is like right now the moon is in my 7th house. When the moon is in the 7th house, So the moon is in my seventh house. The sun is in my seventh house because Leo is there. Mercury's in my seventh house because, well, Leo is there. And also, well, actually, Jupiter in Cancer is actually still in my sixth house. So that's actually good. But Jupiter is opposing my sun. Okay, so I'm going through all of that, right? But when anything is in the seventh house, it does make you think of other people. It's an othering that's going on. So a lot of the communication that I know that I'm personally going through is reaching out to others. Where is Leo in your horoscope chart? Because whatever house you have Leo in is where all the emphasis is right now. That, you know, the early degrees of Leo, late degrees of Cancer, because the moon's at 22 degrees of Cancer, early, like first 15 degrees of Leo. That's where most of the prominent emphasis is. So think about your horoscope. Where is that? For me, like I said, it's the seventh house. It's other people. I really felt like I had to come out here and say something to other people. Like I couldn't just sit on it. Like, I wanted to just communicate and express myself with other people. And that's the seventh house emphasis. I also have my North Node at 29 degrees and 44 minutes of Cancer. So the North Node just had the sun sitting on it. And I guess the urge to merge or whatever is there. You know, I just felt like I needed to come and talk with people. So here I am, let's talk. So that's where the main, you know, the big three is the sun, moon, and Mercury. In my case, all in my seventh house. So we have Venus in Gemini at 21 degrees. Where's 21 degrees of Gemini for you? Because Venus at 21 degrees of Gemini is squaring Mars at 21 degrees of Virgo. And I don't even like that square because that's a square of Mercury. This is all this, with Mercury retrograding right now, and Venus and Mars with the Mercury ruled signs are squaring each other. You know, there's a lot of weird stuff going on in the background. And one of those people involved happens to be a Gemini. I don't want to go into my political stuff. I don't want to go into that, but I'm just saying we got some weird stuff going on, especially when it comes to communication and, you know, that type of thing. There's a lot going on with this square. There's a lot going on with this Mercury retrograde. That's why we're dealing with this Jeffrey Epstein case, because the man's been dead for, you know, years, 10 years, whatever. But this, it's like the man rose from the dead to point the finger. So, you know, especially with that birthday card. So there's a lot going on in the background, a lot of re-steps or retracing, you know, reviewing, going back in time. And I think a lot of people just want to have this issue resolved, and certain things about the communication are not being resolved because they're being hidden, right? And that's not what people want. So there's been a real issue lately when it comes to communication and with documents and content. And we're going to see that. I mean, as long as Mercury's retrograde, we're going to probably see a lot of these types of things pop up when it comes to communication, and like in this case, like a birthday card or documents and stuff like that. So expect that when Mars and Venus are retrograde, or retrograde, when they're square, there's also friction. Now, romantically, I would normally say that a square creates essential or sexual tension, because it does. Squares do create sexual tension. But what I don't like about it is that it's Gemini and Virgo. And that means it's just talk. Ba, 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 ba. It's somebody that's probably talking to somebody on the phone right now. Ba, 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 ba. And someone is telling you, I'm promising you so much. Promising you they are everything. You know, I don't know what they're promising, but they're promising a lot. And they ain't going to be able to deliver, because that square doesn't usually deliver. Okay, this is one of those squares that usually doesn't deliver. When you see Gemini involved in any square, especially a direct hit like this, Geminis are, I'm not a big Gemini fan, although my daughter's father was a Gemini. They're very charismatic in person, but they're good fakers. You know, it's always fake. There's nothing under it. I was in one of the groups on Facebook, and they were saying, what is it between Capricorns and Gemini? And the issue is Capricorn is 100% real. Capricorn's too real, and Gemini is too fake. And that's why they clash eventually. Because Geminis want to keep it light, they want to keep it surface. They don't like going under. They don't want you to see what's beneath. And Capricorn lives beneath. We live on the earth. We're not up in the air like Gemini's all floating in the clouds. We're on earth, tilling the soil or whatever we're doing as Capricorns, or raising the children or whatever, paying the bills, going to work or making dinner. It's very real, and for Gemini, it's not. They're much more in that fantasy world. They're flying around like Peter Pan, and most Capricorns just don't got time for that, and that's usually the problem. Okay, so I feel like we're gonna find a similar energy because we're dealing with Virgo, and although they're both ruled by Mercury, Virgo is just as earthy as Capricorn. Virgo doesn't stand for a lot. So I would be careful of being in any kind of arguments with a Virgo or a Gemini, but specifically if you're a Gemini or a Virgo, you know, Virgos tend to keep it real to the extent that they'll nag. They will be critical because they believe in the truth, and they are grounded and down to earth, and they want facts. They're very fact oriented. And Gemini is the exact opposite. They don't really want the facts. They want that sleight of hand, right? They want to fake you out, and Virgo will call it out. So I could see that this square could cause some major upheaval for especially Gemini or Virgo, but I think Gemini. Overall, though, to be honest, right now the moon and the Virgo Mars are exactly sextile, so they're perfectly aligned. So that's why, you know, at this point, I would say not to mess with Virgos or Cancers. They're very strong at this moment. But overall, we're dealing with an energy that is going to be more leaning toward, like Mercury is, well, it's pulling apart. It's pulling apart. Yeah, that Venus in Gemini doesn't have the support it needs. I'm going to backtrack. It doesn't. That Venus in Gemini does not have the support it needs. It is an empty, flirtatious Venus. It's empty. And I realized the North Node, too, is squared because the North Node is at 19 degrees of Pisces. It's retrograding, but that's still a direct square to this North Node, or excuse me, to this Venus, and to a opposition to the Mars as well. But this Venus is kind of not in a good place. So, you know, I would be careful. You know, if you are flirting with someone, be careful about what they're talking about. They're talking smack. I'm just saying, I don't trust what they're saying right now because, I mean, the sun's in Leo at 1 degree of all places. Very flamboyant little place to be. And it's just, and Mercury's retrograde. So everything there could be saying to you is smack anyway, but it's really going to be smack when Venus is square Mars. Wow. If you're already in a relationship, don't get into no arguments. I can see people getting into arguments or disagreements about who's right about this and who's right about that. Don't do that. Just walk away. Really. Because some Geminis might even be trying to play games and stuff because Venus is in Gemini. They're not serious. I'm telling you, Geminis are not in a very serious place. So if it is a serious conversation to you, walk away. Come back at another time. Okay. That's what I recommend. They're not going to be serious. Venus is sitting on them. So I'm noticing too, we've got an amazing some amazing things going on astrologically. Now, let's talk about this, okay? Because one of the things I'm seeing is the sun is at 1 degree of Leo, and then we got Saturn at 1 degree of Aries. So we've got that trine right away with the sun and Saturn. I love, that is stability. Whatever's going on, and I know most of us are not in agreement with whatever is going on. There is something being built that's solid. Like, this is stable. And maybe it is going to be whatever they do with Epstein. I don't know. I just know that if they don't fix whatever needs to be fixed, it's going to end up being written in concrete, and we don't need that. You'll have to take a hammer to that concrete to undo what's being done. And because this is flowing together, okay? This is all flowing together. Even when this new moon comes and sits on the sun, it's going to be flowing together. It's flowing with Saturn in a trine. It's flowing with Neptune in a trine. It's flowing with Uranus at 0 degrees of Gemini in a sextile. And it's flowing with Pluto. Well, in its own way, right? It's opposing it. But that's a direct opposition. It's like, bam, it can't miss it. So this Pluto at 2 degrees of Aquarius is directly going to be affected by this new moon and sun that's at 2-3 degrees of Leo. So there is a lot going on. I just feel like it feels like it's churning, if that makes sense. Because Neptune and Pluto are sextile. Saturn and Pluto are sextile. Saturn and Uranus are sextile. Pluto and Saturn are sextile. Pluto and Uranus are sextile. I mean, we could just keep going and going. It's like it just goes and goes. There's a lot of sextiles and trines going on right now. And I feel like whatever is being put into place is solid. Whatever it is. I mean, if it's negative, it's negative. If it's good, it's good. But it's solid, man. Like a rock. Oh, why do I want to sing that song? Solid. Solid like a rock. That's what this love is. And look what we got. Anyway, I do see that there might be some love things going on. Only because we're dealing with the early degrees of Leo, and it's coming in. Leo is the lover. People forget that. They really like attention, but they do. It's almost like when it's Leo season, at least to me, and it might be because it's in my 7th house, it's just flirtation. And I think because we got Uranus in Gemini and it's sextiling the sun, I sense flirtation. We got Neptune in Aries and it's trine the sun in Leo. I sense possibly flirtation. That's a 1-5 combination. That's romance house in the self. I wrote. And also Pluto opposing the sun in this new moon. That's the 7th, 1 and 7. That's relationships. Some people might be moving into relationships. I just want you to be careful. Like I said, Venus and Mars are square, and the Venus is Gemini, which is usually very fake. So they could be, making promises that they can't keep. It's the baby, baby, please time. Doesn't mean that they're going to stick to the baby, please. You might take them back, and a week later, they're going to be off doing whatever they did to get them to the begging point in the first place. Because it ain't serious. I'm telling you, Venus and Gemini is not serious. It's a fling. Whatever. It's summer. Summer love. Oh, da, da, da. Ba, ba, ba. It's the summer night. Tell me. I don't know why I had to sing today. I guess it's because sun is in Leo. So the urge to sing is there. And maybe because it's trine Neptune. Okay. I don't know how many other people are breaking out into song, but I just sense that there might be more people who are breaking out into song. And the only thing I think I've missed in this whole lineup is Chiron, which is all by its little lonesome right now. Mm. Technically, it's not. It's not. Not tonight, it's not. Let me tell you why. Because Chiron is at 27 degrees of Aries. And right now the moon is at 22 degrees. I bet if I refresh it's at 23 degrees of Cancer. And that means that the moon is square Chiron. And I don't like that too much. Why? First of all, it's emotional because it's well, the square, the stress of it is activating the emotions of the moon in Cancer, and it's a Cancer moon. So of course it's emotional. Come on. And then it's Chiron. We're talking about 27 degrees of Chiron. It's in Aries, and that just puts it smack dab like in the first house position. So I feel like we're dealing with maybe some emotions about maybe the way some people feel about themselves, maybe the persona that's coming out, their person, you know, the way people are looking at them. Hey, right now, you could be looking at me, what I'm saying, how I'm saying it. You know, I've had this conversation before, and you could be thinking a certain way about me. I'm not even looking at myself right now, and I'm looking at something. So I don't even know what I look like. I could be looking like God knows what. But I feel like when Chiron is in Aries, it always puts the emphasis in the body, in the first house, in the personality, in the face, most likely. And really with a moon in Cancer, I bet I have a fat face right now. I haven't looked at myself, but if my face looks around, it's because the moon is in Cancer. Usually when the moon is in Cancer, it's when we most have our rounded, you know, faces. But I feel like this Chiron moon square tonight might affect a couple of people before this full moon. You know, anything is possible before now in the new moon. I said full moon. The new moon on the 25th. I would just say if something happens and you feel like it's a personal affront, it's probably not a personal affront. Okay, so just remember that or know that. Don't take it personally. I just want to say that because Chiron tends to pull out our pains and our insecurities and the things that hurt and the wounds that we carry around forever. And this moon is activating it. So I just want people to be careful. I don't want anybody to go through painful experiences. The one good thing right now is the Mars and the moon are sextile right now. So it should be a good night for everybody. And with that, we're going to end where the planets are. And we're going to talk a little bit about this new moon in Leo and how it's going to affect everybody, right? How are you going to be affected? I'm going to try to go quicker. I did this the other day, and each one of the readings ended up taking 20 minutes. We cannot do that, okay? We are not doing that tonight. That is not what we're doing because girlfriend don't have that kind of energy or time, okay? So these are going to be quick little quips of whatever it is I need to tell you guys. I'm just writing everything down right now to make sure I've got all the houses right and you know what I'm about to tell you. And I will pull a card or two, but I'm gonna go fast, okay? Because that's what we got to do. Otherwise, I'll run out of energy, and y'all know I will. I'm at that age. I'll get old on you and get the itis, and not anything will get done. And so I have to keep it real. I have to keep it real. And I don't know if anyone at all has looked at the live. I haven't even went to look at the live to see if anyone said anything. I think I'm the only one watching because it's not like I planned this or anything. You know what I mean? This is just something that I just did all of a sudden. And I'm just going to say much love from Astrology. I'll look inside. I'll just put that there in the chat. But at least I can say that I did do this. I did come and I did do live. Now, one of the things I want to talk about, it's saying right here, become a member of this channel, join now and get access to exclusive perks. Let me tell you guys something. I have to tell you, I made some changes to the channel. Most of our more popular I wouldn't say popular, but definitely anything that is AI or might seem redundant, or if it didn't get a whole lot of likes, or if it certain shorts, they're all under members only now. So there's certain things that you might only be able to find under members only. I don't know if they show up, or how you would know about them. But it pays to be a member. And I think our membership starts really low. Like, I think the first membership is like $2 or $3. So I hope that you consider becoming a member of Astrology A Look Inside, because I have plans to put so much information up here, but a lot of information may end up being member only. Like all the stuff I'm doing now, I'm not sure exactly if this will remain on the live, or if I will, make some of the clips of it members only. So certain things like that. So I wanted to invite you, because there's going to be extra perks and stuff like that for being a member of our community, of our channel. And so I invite you now to join our channel and to become a part of our community, okay? So let's go ahead and talk to the signs about what's going on with this new moon. We do have the new moon coming up. And the funny thing is, this new moon in Leo, I have not even done all of my my research, okay? I want to get you the degree, because I hate when I'm pretty sure it's 3 degrees, but I want to make sure it's 3 degrees, okay? Well, it says 2 degrees. It says it's going to be at 2 degrees because it's happening. They're saying it's technically happening at 3 p.m. tomorrow. I thought it was the 25th. So it's only going to be at 2 degrees. Here it's saying that it's a time for reflection, self-love, rebirth, of focusing on expressing and accepting love. Chance to reclaim your joy, reconnect to your heart center, express yourself. It is about expressing yourself. That part I definitely believe in. Also, I think it's amazing that it's at 3:11. I remember the band 3:11. One of the things, though, it says it's at 2. That's what I wanted to find out. 2 minutes and 2 degrees and 7 minutes. Okay, that's what I wanted to find out. So it is exactly opposing that Pluto, which is amazing that it is happening, and it's got to mean something when it's exactly opposing the Pluto. There were a couple of things at 2 degrees. What amazes me is when we have stuff like this happen, and you realize that the things are set up in such a way that it's pinging on like 5 or 6 different planets. What's the likelihood of that? So it's definitely, to me, these things are no mistake. Okay, I just feel that way, that there's no way that these are a mistake. So I'm actually getting a couple of things together here. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure I got everything. Here we go. All right. And this is the 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th. No, it's not. Oh, it happens in Leo's 4th, or I mean in Taurus's 4th. Right. Gemini's 3rd, and Cancer's 2nd. Got it. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is first sign I'm going to talk to is the sign of Leo. I'm just going to grab angel answers. So I'm just going to get the confirmation messages with this. So it should be interesting. I love doing those because those are usually fun. So we're talking to the sign of Leo. Leo, this is going to affect you directly. It's your new moon of the year. And I always love reminding signs that when it's your time of the year, it's like your reset, right? You might have crawled into this moment, okay? I don't know how you have been feeling as a person, as an individual, but you might have crawled into this moment like, like you barely have enough energy, you know, like it's been rough. Maybe you've had a rough couple of months or a couple of weeks, and you just feel like I barely am getting there. But you're going to start to feel better. Like I said, most of these planets are really making great aspects to Leo. And I just feel like you're going to be in a good place and that you're going to get like a reset, a restart. It's a time for you to really get back to loving yourself, accepting yourself, feeling good about yourself, and being okay about being in the spotlight. Because some Leos got this weird thing about being in the spotlight, although that's where they belong. And I want you to know it's perfectly okay to grab your spot in the spotlight, especially now. Okay, over the next 2 weeks, it is your time to shine. I want you to shine. Don't be afraid to shine. It's your time. So do it. Okay? You'll thank me later when something good comes out of it, because I feel like Leos are meant to shine. And the only times I feel like Leos really have a hard time at it is when they either can't shine or they forget to shine, or they don't know how. They've never been taught to shine. There's nothing more painful to me is when I see something like that. And I have come across that. My mother was a Leo who just never got her full chance to shine. And as I got older as an astrologer, I did her horoscope and found out she had her sun in the 12th house. She had Virgo rising and was a Leo. How painful to have this inner, and she was a beautiful singer, but she was an overweight woman, and she was outcast very early on and never got to attain what it was, I guess, her little heart wanted. She had children. We were her creativity. She had 5 of us, and I'm grateful to her. She was a good mom. I have been shuffling as I've been talking, and I told you I wasn't going to spend a lot of time. And luckily, a couple of cards came out because I was just going to move on with one thing. But we did get 3 cards out of this. And the first is meditation brings answers. I think some Leos just have to take some time to meditate. You know, sometimes you don't have the answers or solutions that you want, or you think you know, or need. And sometimes you just need to pray or meditate. Because meditation brings answers. And there's forgiveness in here. This card popped up. So maybe you need to meditate about forgiving someone. It's about forgiveness. And this might have something to do with a romance. I told you some Leo's romance was out there. So this might have something to do with romance. On the bottom of the deck, you had choose a new direction. So it's saying, in a way, I think, to meditate, forgive, and then choose another direction. Okay. So that's my message for you, Leo. I hope it resonates with you, Leo. I hope it makes sense to you, Leo, because I only got 3 cards, but that was the message. Okay. Many blessings. So we're going to move on to the sign of Virgo. Virgo, this is happening in your 12th house. And the 12th house is an interesting house. I talk about it a lot because I was born with my sun in the 12th house of all places. And it really does make you want to go in and hide more. It makes you much more introspective, where you're spending more time alone. And if you feel the urge to spend more time alone over the next 2 weeks, that's perfectly okay. This is that time where you get, or should, spend time alone, dealing with issues that pertain to your life. It might be the things that you're doing in private that you haven't exposed to the world yet. So it's all of that, but it's the hidden things. One of the things I like to make sure I remind people, especially since we're talking about Leo, excuse me, is to be cautious about the things that you're doing in the 12th house, like this, because there's secrets there. And the things that we do in the 12th house sometimes don't come to the light, but they might come to the light now when the sun is literally in your 12th house. and your secrets and stuff like that might come out, even if you didn't mean them to. So that could happen. Let's see what the cards want to tell you. Just want to see what message that I might get for Leo, or Leo, for Virgo. You know, the funny thing is, the 12th house, they call it the house of self-undoing. So it's kind of, in a way, it's a house where we screw ourselves up. I don't think we mean to screw ourselves up. I just think it's where we either need a lot of rest. You know, you might just need a lot of sleep and rest and to regenerate. There's a lot of retrograde planets right now, so it might just be about you resting and regenerating. And so I highly recommend you do that, okay, Virgo? You actually got a couple of cards here. You got a message. The first card was yes, yes. So I guess whatever it is that you most have in your mind, your question, the answer is yes, okay? The situation will improve, okay? It's perfect timing right now. Perfect timing. So ask your angels. There's abundance within the next few weeks. So remain positive. Oh, that's beautiful. What a beautiful message. On the bottom of the deck. Oh, I don't know why something just popped up there. Oh, it says compromise. So whatever you're doing, Virgo, compromise, okay? But I think that was a beautiful message. At the end of the day, you've got abundance coming in the next few weeks, and you just need to remain positive. That's all. Ask your angels, because whatever this is, it's the perfect timing, right? For the situation to improve. Maybe you've been in some kind of situation where you really want it or need it to improve. And so this is good news. I hope for you that your situation is, you know, most likely going to improve. So let's move on to the next sign. And the next sign is the sign of Libra. Libra, this is happening in your 11th house. And the 11th house is your house of like associates, your friends. It's the people you hang around, most likely. If you don't have a lot of friends, it might be people you talk to online. Or it could be clubs or groups. You might belong to some kind of club or organization or something like that. The 11th house is also our hopes, our dreams, our wishes. So ask yourself, what have I been hoping for? What is it that you want? What have you been secretly praying for, hoping for? You know, hoping and praying, hoping and wishing and praying, and you know, that whole thing. Whatever that is, I feel like some Libras have been going through that. But the good thing is it's Leo season, and Libra season is a great time for Leo season is a great time for Libra. It's sextile Libra, so it's like you get along. You know, it's a positive, flowing type of time of the year. So, you know, most Libras have great summers, and I expect you to have a pretty good summer. At least, you know, where I've seen some of the planets. We've got a couple of things in Aries, and so I feel like some Libras might be affected by that. But even with those planets, I feel like we're primarily looking at partnerships, other people. Again, other people. I want you to really, you know, pay close attention to who you're dealing with, who your friends are, who you're hanging out with, that type of thing, okay? So you had actually a couple of cards come out. You obviously got a message here. The first card you got was listen to your intuition. Yeah, be careful about who you're hanging with. I don't know why. I just get that message about who your friends are. Whatever this is unlikely, was the next card. If you believe, though, if you believe, you're ready. It says a year from now, but it was upside down. So I really don't know. I'm going to turn it right side up. A peaceful resolution. So maybe a year from now, a peaceful resolution, just trust. I don't know what it is you need a peaceful resolution to, whatever it is. You have to believe and listen to your intuition. On the bottom of the deck is perfect timing. So whatever this is, it's perfect timing. You just need to trust that you're going to have this peaceful resolution a year from now, most likely. It was upside down, so it could happen anytime, especially over the next couple of weeks. But you're ready for it, whatever it is, especially if you believe, you know. So listen to your intuition. Make it happen, okay? So we're going to move on to the next sign. And much love to you, by the way. And the next sign is the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio, this is happening in your 10th house. The 10th house is a major house. It's one of the cardinal houses. It's a house of your career, of your reputation. And I feel like some Scorpios might be dealing a lot with your reputation over the next few weeks, like how people see you, how they view you, what they think of you, if they, you know, they like you, if they follow you, if they're haters. Some Scorpios tend to get haters. But I feel like when you've got the emphasis in your 10th house like that, it really does put a lot of emphasis on your career, on your public life. You know, it's what the public sees or what the public is thinking of when they think of you. It may not be real, but it is what they think is you. I always say that 10th house is what your obituary is what people actually think of you. You know, the 10th house is also your boss. So if you have a boss, it could be your boss. It could be just people in authority over you in any career or job or thing that you have going on. Okay, so we've got a couple of cards that came out for you as I was talking, and the first card that came out was within the next few weeks. Okay, Scorpio, whatever I talk about here, remain positive over the next few weeks. And also, you got a yes. So yeah, remain positive and reconsider whatever this is. Yeah, within the next few months. So you've got something happening within the next few weeks, within the next few months. You need to reconsider romance. That's what's on the bottom of the deck. So I guess this is a time for you to reconsider romance. So perhaps that's one of the things that's happening for you. But it could be within the next few months, you might need to reconsider something in your career, since we're talking about the 10th house, which is the career. Whatever it is, remain positive. I feel like in the next few weeks, you're going to feel it, whatever it is, okay? So let's move on to the next sign. And much love to you, by this way, Scorpio. Much love to you. Let's move on to the sign of Sagittarius. See what we're going to tell the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Let's see what we've got. Now, Sagittarius, this is happening in your 9th house. What I love about that is that the 9th house is your house. So it's basically happening in your house. It's going to feel home. It's going to feel good. You'll probably feel more moved to talk about, think about, communicate about social issues, politics, government, religion, Trump, the administration, Epstein, the documents, foreign affairs, ICE, travel, religion, church, school, trainings, education. Those are the areas of emphasis. I hope you're not one of those people out protesting, getting arrested by ICE, because that definitely could happen for some Sagittarius right now. They could be out there dealing with whatever it is that they, what's going on with ICE. So, you know, I want you to be careful, because the 9th house is policing, it's government, it's politics, it's all of that. And Saggy, you're known to be involved in that kind of thing anyway. And so I feel like you might be more so over the next couple of weeks. This could also just be travel. Some Sagittarius, their outlet is travel, and it could be education. Some Sagittarius, their outlet is education, like higher education, like universities, going back to night school, you know, that type of thing. Anyway, I was pulling some cards while we were talking, and I swear a quarter of the deck came out. There is a message here. So I want you to listen closely to how these cards string together to form this particular message that you're meant to hear. The first card is within the next few weeks, which I think is amazing since we're talking about the new moon and it affects us for 2 weeks. You're ready to choose a new direction. It's up to you. Ask for help from others. Success. Opportunity. Ask your angels and look for a sign. A year from now, get more information. And on the bottom of the deck, perfect timing. That was a very specific message. This is about you getting success and opportunity. And it wants to come to you at a particular time. I mean, it did end on perfect timing, and you need to get more information about what that timing is. Maybe do a reading with me so we can look at your horoscope and see what this timing might be. It said a year from now, but it might be more along the lines of whatever it's best for your chart. Look for a sign. Ask your angels. Ask your friendly astrologer. Adrienne, I do readings. You can go to astrologylookinside.com. Go to the shop and check out all the different readings I offer. Also, this is about opportunity and success. So opportunity and success want to come to you. It does say to ask for help from others because it's up to you at the end of the day to choose this new direction. But you're ready. You're ready. And I think within the next few weeks, you're going to figure out what this might be. And I feel like that's what that message was. It was a very specific message for you, Saggy. But I think success and opportunity want to definitely come into you. And you're going to figure out how and when and what ways that's going to happen over the next few weeks. That's what I believe. Okay. So let's move on to the next sign, which is Capricorn. Capricorn, this is all happening in your 8th house. So Capricorn, this is all about money. It's all about the money. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. It's always about that for us anyway, isn't it? Because I'm a Capricorn, I'm a double Capricorn, and I'm always worried about the money. Let me tell you about something that happened to me, and we haven't even had the new moon, but I'm going to tell you my story, and maybe you'll understand. So I have several little businesses that I've tried over the years, and some of them I let go and some haven't. One of them is my AdrianOBHQ.com, the website I'm rebuilding. But I have the email, and they wanted to charge me. I woke up to them charging me $105 and billing me. And I'm not sure I had $105 in the bank or not. If I did, I was just barely getting by because I've got websites and other things that are stacked, monetarily. So unless I have a sale, I didn't see how I was going to do it. So I called GoDaddy. And I begged them, and we made a deal, and they moved it to monthly. And I was able to get back the $105. So I'm like, thank you, because to them it was just one thing, but to me it was going to set up this domino effect that was going to affect my finances probably for the next couple of weeks. And that's what I mean, is that this is going to affect Capricorns in the area of money. It's most likely other people's money, or dealing with things like banks where your money is somewhere else, or someone else has pulls the purse strings to the money. Like in my case, I was lucky that I was able to schmooze GoDaddy into giving me a refund and putting it on a monthly. It saved me so much heartache by doing that. That way I didn't have to worry about if there was enough, because I was already concerned about it. There were other issues I had come up. So for some Capricorns, you might have things like this come up for you, where it's dealing with finances, not just your finances, but money that involves other people. Other GoDaddy had to actually agree to give me back the money and make the deal with me. And you might have to come up or do things like that, Capricorn, over the next 2 weeks. You might find that you have to make special deals and be careful about your money. Now, this could have a lot to do with death and taxes and sex and psychology, but it most likely has to do with money and getting other people to pay you money, or how to get more money, or how to stash away money, maybe getting insurance so that you have annuities and stuff like that. It's being wiser with your money. It could be if you have a partner or a husband or whatever, it could be your partner's money. So you could have some kind of dealings with your partner and their money, or communication about your partner and money and stuff like that. So a bunch of cards came out for you, Capricorn. Let's take a good look at what these what these cards want to tell you. The first card was look for a sign. If it's about money, it's about money. Look for a sign. And if you believe, look for a sign if you believe there's something better. There's something better, Capricorn. It is. So reconsider. The situation will improve. So ask for help from others. Helpful people. Recovery. It's not the right time, but the opportunity is there. So wait. Wow, it almost was like I was talking about with my own situation with the recovery. On the bottom of the deck, you're ready. You're ready for this opportunity, whatever it is. It does say to wait a little bit, but we've got 2 weeks for this to manifest up for sure, because we're talking about this new moon in Leo. But wait, there's an opportunity coming. I mean, it might not be the right time today, but you've got this recovery. I think some Capricorns are going to recover financially. And I think it's going to be due to helpful people. You can ask help from other people, but I do think the situation is going to improve because of the help you get from other people. So reconsider. Don't give up. There's something better. If you believe and you look for a sign, there is something better. And I think it's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. I really do. So you need to believe that too, Capricorn. Okay? Stay positive. If you believe something better is coming, then something better is coming. Okay? Much love to you. So let's move on to the next sign, which is the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius, this is happening in your 7th house. This means this could be partners, this could be enemies, it could be someone who doesn't like you, shows up out of the blue, your enemy, your mortal enemy, like Mortal Kombat. That could show up. It could just be your partner. It could be your wife, your husband, whoever your significant other is. The emphasis is going to be on them. Okay, not so much on you, but on them. Yeah. Okay, if you have Aquarius rising, if you are an Aquarius, like I have Aquarius in the 1st house, so that I know that all of this emphasis is going to be on other people. And I need to put my emphasis on other people. And so do you, Aquarius. If you haven't been paying attention to your partner, this might be a good time to pay attention to your partner. If you have enemies, they might come out of the woodwork now. And you might find that you have more enemies than you thought. That could happen. But basically, it's just about putting the emphasis on others and not so much on yourself. Sometimes we tend to put a lot of emphasis on ourselves and we forget about other people, or, whatever the situation might be. But this is not that time. This is time to put the emphasis elsewhere. That's why I came to do this live tonight. That's why I came to do these card readings and to share this message, because I could have just sat here and Netflix. I'm in the middle of Netflix, and right now I got a couple of shows I wanted to watch, but it wouldn't have done me any good, because I would have felt guilty about not doing something for a new moon in Leo, and then there wouldn't have been any extra information to provide for you, and I really wanted to share. whatever I could with others. So I think for Aquarius, um, yeah, I hope that you share with others. Now, did I already do Aquarius? Right? I think I'm on Aquarius, right? I hope I haven't started Pisces and now I'm still talking about Aquarius. I think I'm on Aquarius and we're pulling the cards for Aquarius. And I'm just giving you my astrology advice about spending more time on others and your relationships with others instead of on yourself, okay? So here's what the cards had to tell you. I can't believe this, but the first card was romance. So not only do you have a 7th house emphasis, but the cards right away said romance. I feel like for some Aquariuses, especially if you're open to being with other people, you can get romance right now. And especially when in the next few months, if not over the next few weeks, within the next few months. There's no need to worry. Okay? No need to worry, Aquarius. There's something better. There's something better. And the situation will improve, Aquarius. The situation will improve. There's an opportunity here for Aquariuses. Yes, you got 2 yeses in a row. Oh my gosh. There is an opportunity. I really do believe it has something to do with other people or relationships. And on the bottom of the deck, it says, take action. Take action. Okay, I think this has something to do with relationships, and I do feel like you're being pushed to take action in that area, Aquarius. And I just saw there is a Harushti Kakade out there. It says, do I, and Suhas have future ahead? Oh, so you have a question. Do you and Suhas have a future ahead? Well, I'll pull a couple of cards. I'm nosy. Do you guys want to find out? Let's find out what of Sarush. I hope I'm saying the name Harushti Kakade and Suhas. And Sharusti, I hope you can send me a super chat or something, something like that. But I'm going to go ahead and pull these cards for you right now, regardless, because I want to know too. If you guys have a future ahead. Let's see if Sharush, or I hope I'm saying the name right, Harushti Kakade and Sahas, if they have a future together. Is there a future for Sharusti and Suhas? Is there a future for Sharusti and Suhas? Oh, a couple of cards pulled. I'm not going to look yet. Is there a future for Sharusti and Suhas? Cards are starting. Is there a future for Sharusti? I hope I'm saying the name right. And Suhas. Okay, any more cards? Oh, another one came out. Okay, I'm just trying to see what comes out. Couple, okay, I had a couple come out. Anything else? Let's just see. Anything about this future? What is that future ahead? What kind of relationship? Is that something that's possible? Like oh, here comes the cards. Wow. Okay, we got a message. We've got a message. Here we go. There's a bunch that came out. So the first card, Shrusti, was ask for help from others. So I don't know about you and Suhas, about how you know each other. If you're already together, if you met through friends, or if by asking help from others, like from friends, acquaintances, family, if that is going to help to solidify the relationship. So because this was the first card, ask for help from others, okay? And then the next card was improving health. So I don't know if your health or their health has to do with any of this, but improving health was next. And then we got choose a new direction. Now, I also got look for a sign. Within the next few months. Perfect timing. For romance. There it is. You're ready. Yeah, you asked me. You are ready. So don't stop. It's unlikely. It was there, but on the bottom of the deck, yes. Yes. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go with this yes too, and I'm going to tell you why. You had, not only did it end on yes, okay, although it was unlikely, it told you, one, don't stop. Don't stop. It said you're ready. And it gave you romance. It said romance. It also said perfect timing within the next few months. So I don't think this is a mistake. What it said also was to look for a sign and to maybe choose a new direction. Now, if that's, I don't know if that means so much in the relationship. It might be choose a new approach, right? If that's what they're saying. But it started with ask for help from others, so if it's friends. And Charusti said, we met in a social gathering, not in a relationship. But I feel that we are twin flames. Thank you. Yes, and if you met in a social gathering, and the social gathering that you met at, they know both of you, get them to get you together. It says to ask for help from others. Okay, get help. Whoever invited you to that social gathering, get them to invite him to that social gathering so you guys can, it says within the next few months, right? Romance. So I believe in you. You got this. You got this, okay? You got this, especially if you get that help. Especially if you get the help from friends. So good luck. That was beautiful. I love it when it works out the way people want it to. I love that. So let's go on to the next sign. The next sign, by the way, is the sign of Pisces. Oh, it's Charusti said we work together. Yeah. I bet you, and that's great because you can ask for help from people that work with you, right? I mean, once the word is out that you're interested, you know what I'm saying. You know how it goes. I've had office romances. They do happen. Okay? Just know that. My daughter's father was a DJ I met at a disc jockey place once. So yeah, just so you know, we were working on a commercial together and the sparks flew. Says, we work together. I feel afraid, ma'am. Does he have a crush on me or not? You know, it says that it's going to be a few months, right? But it did have romance. It said don't stop. So when it tells you not to stop, don't stop. Maybe you, because here's the thing. If this person feels what you feel, right? You guys both might, you know, when you get around someone and the sparks fly and the EBGBs and your stomach twirls and you know that feeling. And it might be that this person is feeling the same thing. You guys might both be feeling it, but they might be at the tail end of a relationship. They might be breaking up with someone. It says, I feel afraid, ma'am. Does he have a crush on me? She's like, oh dear, you made my day. Right. So you give it time. Give it a few, like it says, it might take a few months, but it's there. You didn't imagine this. This is there. Okay. So I get his dreams giving me hints. Yeah, it's there. It's there. I don't know why, but whatever you're feeling is real. The actual card romance came out, so it's there. It wants to come. Don't give up. Okay? Don't give up. So let's see what we're telling Pisces. Pisces, you've got a lot going on when it comes to your health and your work, because the emphasis for Pisces is going to be in their sixth house. The sixth house is the house of health. The sixth house is the house of work. It's people you work with too. I've kind of figured that out over the years. It's not like, it's weird. The 10th house is more of the actual acclaim that you get at work. The sixth house is more of the people you're working with, like your secretary, your executive assistant, the guy that brings the coffee, the news guy, you know. That's what the sixth house is. And also it's the stuff you do every day, like wash the dishes, you know, wash your hair, make dinner, pick up the kids, that type of thing. One of the things that I always tell people to do when the emphasis is in the sixth house is to make sure you get lots of exercise, that you take care of yourself. There is no better time to take care of your physical self. Well, other than when it's in the first house, is then when it's in the sixth house. It's saying take care of you. So if you need to get on a vitamin regimen, get on vitamins. If you need to go and exercise, exercise. This is that time for you to do that, okay? So I want you to do that. One of the things, also see a doctor. Or if you can't see the doctor over the next 2 weeks, make the appointment to see the doctor over the next 2 weeks, okay? That's what I want Pisces to do. So I've been shuffling these cards for you, Pisces, as I've been talking, and I just wanted to get a message from the cards to let you know what the possibilities are. And I think we've got a couple of cards here. So the first card I got for Pisces is the card of compromise. 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 That's saying, you know, if necessary, compromise. But compromise is maybe unlikely. You need to get more information. So you might not compromise until you know all the facts. You might do it a year from now, but whatever this is, it's within the next few weeks that it starts. So I want you to make sure you get the information you need. And you had improving health on the bottom of the deck. Whatever it is, when I say improving health, that means it's going to get better. Okay, so right now it might not be the best, you know, over the next few weeks. But a year from now, and especially if you start getting more information and start preparing, what is unlikely now might actually come to pass if you compromise. Okay, so that's my message for the sign of Pisces. And I just saw that Cherusti was still posted something to me. He said, "You won't believe anything I will happen. I'll get intentions like he'll call me, or when I get the feeling that he'll enter the room, and he does. I caught him staring at me. Literally, dear, I woke up now from a sleep and thought to ask a guide, and you were there." Isn't that awesome? Yeah, I do. I felt that romance. When the romance card came, I think I squilled a little bit because I kind of felt it like, oh, what? So yeah, you hold on. Don't give up on this. I definitely sense this is real. You're not imagining it. Sometimes people ask me like, am I and so going to be together? And I don't get the vibe. And the cards don't get the vibe. And it doesn't feel like it's going to work. And I didn't get that with you. I got a vibe like, oh yeah, this is mutual. This is both of you. It's not just you imagining, okay? Because sometimes it's in our imagination. Oh, I don't think that. I think there's something here. So let's move on to the sign of Aries. Aries, this is the 5th house for Aries. Aries, I don't know if you or him, by the way, Cherusti is an Aries, but Aries, when the sun is in your 5th house like this is amazing time. This could be romance time for Aries. This is usually a time of romance, of dating, of getting into those romantic feelings with another person. It is also about taking a chance. So especially Cherusti, if you are an Aries, I would say take a chance. But this is a time of taking a chance for Aries in general. You know, it's children too. So if you have children, I want you to be very watch over your children, very cautious about your children. It is a time that could signify when you could get pregnant with children. So if that's not something you want to be really cautious about that too, because it is possible, especially when it's a Leo sun. Leo is the natural ruler of the 5th house, and it naturally rules children. So you know, if I was an Aries and I didn't want to have a child, I would be very cautious about that over the next 2 weeks. Okay. So your first card, you also got compromise. Your first card was compromise, Aries. Helpful people. Helpful people. So it might help you to choose a new direction. You might be choosing a new direction, Aries. A year from now, though. It's not right away. There's recovery. A year from now, it looks like. Yeah. Yes. So wait. Okay. Wait. And ask for help from others. You're another one that gets help from other people. Romance. Romance. It's unlikely within the next few weeks, But on the bottom of the deck, trust. So, you know, this might be one of those things where you need to have trust and you need to believe. It might not be something that happens over the next 2 weeks, right? This child or whatever. But there is the potential for romance. And I was just talking about romance, and I can't believe that card popped up. That was crazy. Ask for help from others, wait. But I think you're going to recover at least a year from now. I see romance for sure, especially if you get help from other people. There is romance coming for Aries, for sure. I really believe it. You might not feel it right away, but I do feel like it's coming. And it might just show up over the next 2 weeks because the emphasis is in Leo in your 5th house. So that is definitely possible. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to the sign of Taurus. Taurus, this is happening in your 4th house. And the 4th house is the house of your home. It's a house of your family, your home life. It's about where and how you feel secure and safe and at ease and loved and comforted, and or you feel like it's okay, where you can let your hair down and put your feet up and watch TV and, you know, eat a bowl of popcorn and feel like it's perfectly all right. That is that part of our life where that happens, is the 4th house. It's also our family. So it's the people where you feel like you could do that around them, where you feel safe and secure around them, and you don't mind letting them see you with your hair all over your head, no makeup on, and in your skivvies, right? That's your family. The people that you live with, that you share a home with. A lot of times, too, when the moon is in the 4th house of the moon. Yeah, it's going to be in the moon. The sun and the moon, but when the emphasis is in the 4th house and the moon is in the 4th house, we get a lot of emphasis on food, like cooking and food and children. And so I feel like some Tauruses might be dealing with that, like food and children and cooking and your home and being at home and watching TV and Netflixing and, you know, all of the things that make us feel homey and safe and at peace. Man, a whole bunch of cards just popped out. Just want to make sure. So I think that must have been, oh, sorry, I might have just lost my clarity here. But a bunch of cards popped out, and I think that must have been the message that wanted to come out. So we're just going to go ahead and start with that. It starts with yes. Okay, Taurus, whatever's going on, yes. Yes. Success. Yes. If you believe. If you believe. Romance. You're another one that got the romance. Oh my gosh, the romance is going tonight. Wow. Compromise. I've seen romance and compromise come up several times. But communicate clearly. That is, and choose a new direction. I'll talk about that in a minute. Ask your angels. Ask your angels. Because the situation will improve and there'll be a peaceful resolution. On the bottom of the deck, you're ready. You're ready. And, you know, we're talking about the 4th house. We're talking about family. We're talking about your home life and feeling secure. And I just love that it ended, you know, basically like there's going to be this peaceful resolution. I just got a sense of peace about that, the whole thing. Like whatever's going on in your life, the situation is going to improve. You just got to ask your angels for the help that you need and choose a new direction and communicate clearly about what you want and be willing to compromise in order to get what you want. Especially if this is about romance, right? And if you believe it. If you believe in that success is coming, then yes, success is coming. Okay, just know that, Taurus. So let's move on to Gemini. Gemini, this is happening in your 3rd house. What is amazing about that for Gemini is that the 3rd house is the natural house of Gemini. So I feel like some Geminis are going to be doing a lot of talking, a lot of communication, speaking, talking, communicating, writing, making videos maybe, or podcasts, or anything that involves communicating. It could just be that you're writing and you're communicating and you're, having to sign documents. You have to be on the phone a lot. You have to maybe do a report for your job or school or whatever. And some Geminis might feel like there's a lot of communication. There's a lot of talking. There's a lot of videos, a lot of appointments or interviews or Zooms or whatever it is you're doing. And you might feel that. You might feel that. I just want Geminis to be careful about what they're communicating, because Geminis tend to lie. Geminis like to lie. They like to make pretend. You guys are the big pretenders of the zodiac, and the liars and the pretenders. And I'm just saying, I don't know if this, you probably would be able to get away with being the Joker right now, because this is all positive for you. Like, the sun and the moon are going to be sextile you, Gemini. This is not a negative time for Gemini. This is positive. I think something that is probably to your benefit is going to happen. So, good. Your first card even was abundance. Abundance. I think some Geminis are going to get abundance. I do. You might have to compromise. You got compromise there, but yeah, yes. Look for a sign. Look for a sign in the near future. In the near future. You're another one. You got romance. It keeps coming out. Sometimes that card never comes out, but it's come out like 5 times tonight. Listen to your intuition. There's an opportunity if you believe. So ask your angels. Ask your angels. And on the bottom of the deck, success. I'm telling you, Gemini, this is not a negative time for you. This is actually a very positive time for Gemini. And, I don't know if you're a Gemini, because I'm not a big Trump fan. I don't want him to be successful, but I have to give it to him. It's a very positive time for a Gemini, to be a Gemini. You've got support on either side. You've got support from the new moon, the sun in Leo, the new moon in Leo. You got support from Saturn in Aries. You got support from Neptune in Aries, and you've got support from Uranus in Gemini. This is a very unique time for Gemini. I think it's going to be different than you expected it to be. Whatever it is, ask your angels, and if you believe, what you believe is what's going to happen. So listen to your intuition about things like romance, about your future. Look for a sign, because I feel like it's yes all the way. If you're able to compromise, you're going to get abundance. You're going to win in some way, Gemini. I really do think that. Okay. So let's move on to the very last sign. And who is the very last sign? The very last sign is the sign of Cancer. Cancer. Hello, Cancer. I love my Cancers. We just went through Cancer season, and it's funny. I was involved in a couple of things, and my Cancer friends were just bopping all over the place. They were just doing so much and so active and had so many things for me to do, and I didn't really get anything done. I had no energy because I'm a Capricorn. But you, Cancer, you're at a high time of the year. You not only just had the sun and your new moon like over the last 30 days, but now this emphasis of the new moon is going to be in your second house of money. And the good thing about that, it's your money, right? So I feel like some Cancers are going to amass more money. Maybe you've got something going on that is going to bring in more cash. You might even be doing something like shopping, buying, like purchasing something. Some Cancers might even be like buying a home right now, or buying a car, or buying furniture, or new clothes, or something like that, because it usually indicates when you're purchasing something, or improving or beautifying something. So you might be doing that. And I think because you're a Cancer and it's the second house of Taurus, I just feel like it has something probably to do with your home or food, or something like that. Um, yeah, definitely. I do sense that for you, Cancer. So I feel like one of the things, because one of the things that the second house talks about is what you have to offer. And one of the things I feel like Cancer has to offer is that usually you guys are great cooks. You are. And I think some Cancers are going to show themselves, show off over the next couple of weeks of just how great of a cook you are, because that is something that Cancers are. They're synonymous almost with food and good food. I have been shuffling off and on. Oh, there's one. And I did not get any cards for Cancer, and I was starting to get panicky, but I realized I've got some cards. And I don't know if I had pulled cards, and but we're gonna talk about these cards that I just got for Cancer. So the first card I see here is let go, Cancer. Let go. Be assertive. If you believe. Opportunity. If you believe an opportunity is definitely there, and listen to your intuition, it's perfect timing. I swear, this is just one of those cards I just knew was going to come out for Cancer. The situation will improve on the bottom of the deck. So whatever is going on, the situation is going to improve. It's perfect timing for you. You just have to listen to your intuition, because you got this opportunity coming. It's a good time of the year for you to get it. And I think it's going to be, monetary. It's going to be something like that, I think. So be assertive. Just know. Let go of the, fears and stuff like that, because something good wants to definitely come into you, okay? So much love to you, Cancers. Much love to you. And in fact, much love to all of you. Much thanks to you for being here with me tonight. Many thanks to anyone who has listened or follow me whenever you see this video. If you have not already done so, be sure to take a moment to like this video. Share the video if you can. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Become a member of the channel. I talked about that earlier on how you can become a member and join our community here on YouTube. So I am so honored to have been able to come and go live tonight and to help who I could help tonight. Many blessings to you all. Have a beautiful Leo new moon tomorrow. And may it bring in the best that you can have at this time of life. Much love to you. Blessings, everybody. Blessings. I'll talk to you soon. And I promise to upload the other videos that I have not uploaded yet, but I'll get to those too. Okay?